All right, wonderful. Welcome back to. Oh, I didn't insult my audience. Cunts, cunts. Anyways, yeah, welcome back to fundamentals, artwod fundamentals, drawing fundamentals, fundamental. I can't even speak. Yeah, artwod. What the fuck am I even saying? Beginner roadmap, right? Grind node, draw X amount of boxes, 20 boxes in 1 point perspective. I made it more difficult, right? I'm adding diagonals and ellipses essentially into the boxes. They're really not boxes, they're just contour manipulated shapes, right? Trying to make it more difficult, of course. But for this one, because there's not much space left, I'm gonna A, focus on drawing things a lot smaller, and B, focus on purely just diagonal, like one box will just have diagonal cutouts, another one will have elliptical cutouts, and I want to just focus on visualizing that. Yes, let's get to it. Oh, draw along, of course, pick up your pen, right? Draw along with me. Don't waste your fucking time just listening to me or watching me draw some random bullshit. Draw along, actually get to it, right? Let this be your kick in the ass if you haven't haven't done any drawing today. In fact, I didn't even feel like doing this right now. I came up with a bunch of excuses in my mind. It's getting late, I'm tired, I'm not tired, and it's not getting that late. Blah, blah, blah bullshit. No, but I'm here now, and if I'm here, you can be here. So let's get to it. Do it. Okay, anyways, so this is obviously very difficult, and that's what I want to do. Right? It's to think about the ellipse in this skewed perspective. Oh, already fucked that line up. But let's see if I can make it happen. Okay, so that's what I was trying to do. Right, slowly but surely. I love how I said I wanted to draw things smaller. Now here I am. Okay, but let's at least try to focus on the line work as well. Cool. And this is very difficult. This angle I actually struggle with. So it's clear these extreme angles I struggle with. And then somehow there's this little blind spot over here maybe, and over here that I struggle with, right? And right now, what is this? This could be something like that. And if I trace it back, it's close enough. Of course, let's just focus on making this, I guess. Well, I can't really make it even. I don't really care about that right now. But it was about adding ellipses, per se, to a box. I still obviously need to figure that out, because this one ended up becoming a lot bigger than I expected, which is fine, of course. But you can tell it is later in the day because I'm not fucking shooting random shit and saying random fucking dumb commentary. Right? This is chill Viggy. Chill Vig, as my friends like to call me. Nobody calls me that, but either way. Okay, and then this just needs to be essentially a perfect rectangle / square, right? Slightly thinner, just because it's slightly further away, and we can do the same thing here. That line was poor quality because it was too thick. Now we have to think about the fact that there is some foreshortening involved here as well, right? So we have this. Okay, so we have this. It's like, okay, it's this far out. And then maybe something like that. Is that correct? Maybe. It's hard to do that while you're obviously thinking about this supposed grid line that I've established in my mind, right? But that should be okay. And then let's do something, obviously in the opposite side now. We will do a diagonal. So right, roughly, okay, it's a bit off, but roughly, like, you know, this one is converging more than this one. It's decently off, but now I have to think about, okay, with the center line, right, let's go up, and that would be the diagonal. Okay, see, and then now we can kind of focus on creating some wonky ass design, I guess. And we can even do a diagonal like this, right? So this continues to go. So I could do something like that. Same thing here, continues to go. Do something like that, right? And then we have, I don't know if that logic I've established is sound. I'm just trying to think about it in terms of like, okay, if this is one giant square, right? This was diagonal, this gone out. And if we're just trying to connect the corners, you just go further back. Trying to connect the corners, let's go further back. So this one would, it does make sense that this one would be a bit more skewed. But at the same time, I don't know. This one seems a bit off to me. This side especially. Is it even supposed to be even further out? Oh, or this isn't further out enough. Yeah, it's supposed to be, there you go. It's supposed to be like this. That's a bit better. But either way, let's just finish this shape. Because of course none of it makes too much sense right now. But it's okay, because I'm hopefully understanding a little bit more. Right? Okay, and then again, I'm always trying to visualize the overall grid line going towards the vanishing point. That line was not good, it was too thick. But anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. Wow, all my energy clearly is gone. It's all in the morning. All that shit, it's clearly just in the morning. Today, yeah, I truly am chill big. But anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain. I feel as if all my call to actions that I've done with my videos have failed miserably. Anytime I try to engage my audience, you pieces of shits never reply. How many times have I asked, what are you doing, right? What are you working on? How's your drawing going? How do you feel about the fundamentals, right? What are some things that are really difficult? Nobody, not a single person has ever commented. You're all fucking cunts. I hate every single one of you. So please comment and let me know how you feel about the fundamentals. Yes. Okay, hold up. So if it's like, see, now this is very difficult. Visualizing this, very difficult. I'm trying to think, because what I'm trying to think about right now, this ellipse that I'm outlining in my mind is basically, there's a line going back here. Let's just say, right now, let's say I'm starting it right around, yeah, there. And now, if we make this around this wide, this line is converging much less. It's going roughly around here. So we need to make sure these are parallel, and I'm essentially imagining that plane. But now the next step is to put an ellipse inside of it. The problem here is subconsciously my mind seems to put this ellipse sort of with this this as the minor axis going this way. But we all know the minor axis, no matter what, for any of these ellipses, especially if it's facing up or down, right? Especially if it's on this plane, this is the minor axis. It's going down. It's going straight down, right? Completely perpendicular to the horizon line. Now the trouble here I'm having right now is creating that quote-unquote perpendicular horizon line. Would it be something like this? That might be a bit more accurate, right? Because we'll have something like that, and then we'll have something that's basically almost right. It's almost what I was gonna say is it's almost completely perpendicular, but this is actually pretty off too. By again, usually 3 to 4 millimeters. This should have been a bit more straight. That's on me, right? And see, we can even, again, using this as plane, like, okay, that's the middle. So we could have something like, oh, and this is actually not even completely perfectly horizontal either. See how difficult it can be? See how, yeah, see, this is not properly horizontal like this one. It's going at an angle. See? It's curved this way rather than like this. It's kind of like that. It's angled slightly, which is, again, very difficult, right? It's very difficult to establish and maintain that when there are different angles involved. This is the nice little subtle difficulty of this exercise, right? Because again, at the point I'm at, doing just a normal box is simple, therefore boring. This is difficult, therefore stimulating, right? So and yeah, these diagonals do make it a lot harder to kind of understand the grid as it is. But that's the point, you know, we never want it to be easy to understand. Okay, that line is okay. So clearly I made this a lot thinner. Oh, see, that was a fuck up. You see how my hand just spazzed out? That is an indication of poor hand-eye coordination, right? Motor control. But yeah, that's okay. I'll leave that as it is. We should try drawing something smaller here now. Or up here, I guess. Right. See, we can do a lot of things. We can do a lot of things. Oh, but not that. That is way too thick. Do everything but what I just did. And that was extremely off. See, this should be much more angled. Okay, that's a mistake. That's wonderful. Making mistakes is good. Do not forget that, everyone. Okay, but if I were to put a box right around there, well, actually, let's do it like this. Right, so some way here, roughly. There you go. And I actually wasn't thinking about the fact that it already exists underneath. I was just trying to create something unique, I guess, quote unquote unique. And it's okay, we can draw under and over, right? Because this, see, this is all wrong. Actually, no, this was a diagonal. No, this is wrong. This is 100% wrong. See, because it's overshot it. But if I want this, right? This is also not the most connected either. But that's okay. This is all stuff we're trying to figure out, right? The grid is not something that easily is done. Definitely not. I'm only adding this cutout because affecting this contour affects this contour. Right? So something like that. Has anybody heard of Waltz in A minor? Completely random, but that's the piano place I'm playing right now. It was Clementi's last song, I believe? Something like that. I don't know much about piano. Again, piano is purely something that I have zero understanding of. I'm literally just getting good as per my teacher's instructions, but in terms of actually understanding, like, or knowing the history behind everything, no, I don't have that. Okay, we need to try to figure this out. Okay, this should be fine. See, that mark I just made was an error. Why was it an error? Because it wasn't perfect. There you go. Now that one needs to be horizontally intact while also... Oh, family's yelling about something. Who knows? We'll find out next time on household abuse. No, there's no abuse here. Verbal, sure. I think that's pretty normal for most houses. I'd like to believe at least. I have to have a talk with Santa Claus for lying to me. But yeah, see, okay, so that was okay. This is what the problem was. Right, that's where the problem was. Should have been more like that. There you go. Yeah, like that. Now we can obviously fake this a little. Jesus Christ, I cannot fake this. Maybe I can. Whatever, we'll leave it. We'll completely leave it, right? You try hiding your mistakes, but sometimes it just makes it worse. So we'll leave that as it is, because there's lots of mistakes there. But before I leave this in general, I do obviously want to pretend and practice, or not pretend, but practice. What the fuck am I even saying? Pretend? No. Practice and see the grid line. Because that's wrong. This is actually throwing everything off too. That's completely wrong. But errors are where mistakes are made. That made no sense. Actually, technically it did make sense, but I was trying to be profound. That made no sense. Okay. Minor axis is just this way, right? Yeah, it's literally just that way. So, but this one I ended up making, yeah, so that's actually an incorrect ellipse. Most of these are. That's actually difficult. It's good. Okay, so this is going there. There you go. Cool. And then we have this thing. Something like that, right? What is seen here? Be like that? Like double? No, there's much more space apart. These don't have that much. Actually, does it? I don't fucking know. I'm confusing myself. Let's just leave it. Let's just leave it. I'm gonna rest my brain. But this is good. Good practice, definitely. You see, there's always more shit you can fill the space with, even if it seems like there's no way another hour could possibly fit in this page. It can, because it's already been 20 minutes, right? Wait, this is fucking hectic, for sure. If anything, I should have done a better job at spacing everything out. But, yeah, it is what it is. Let me rest my brain. Yeah, the best part about these artwod grind nodes is the fact that A, you can make them more difficult than they are initially presented as, and B, you can literally, as the name suggests, just grind them as much as you want, right? Like, look, I've technically already completed, I think, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, never mind. I have 2 more shapes, right? Boxes, as it instructs, but yeah, technically I've already completed this, and I've made it a lot more difficult, right? I'm still debating whether I should do the back of this page. Yeah, the back. Fucking Jesus Christ. Bruh. Yeah, the back. No need to really, I don't even know if that presentation was necessary, but yeah. The back of this page, I'm debating whether I should do the same thing before submitting it. But this is already so much higher than what it requires. And I do want to get to the actual fundamental, like the beginner roadmap. Right now I'm just doing the grind node for the first part. But I do want to get to actually like the things I haven't properly learned or practiced yet, right? And I want to grind the shit out of those. This I think I can maybe come back to when I guess time requires, or whenever I want, really, right? But now I'm just trying to think of the box that it's encompassed in. Let's have it stop here. I think that's a bit better. I think that's definitely a bit better. Because see, it should be more decisive as well. You see, now this is where I struggle. I literally calculated it correctly, and then I incorrectly created a line, right? Which happens. It's what it is, you know. Again, I can choose to be irate about that mistake, or I can rate that mistake as a 10 out of 10 mistake. Oh, this is so fucking shit. But yeah, we can choose our reaction, and we can train that choosing. That's the most important part. It just ties back into mindset. Okay, see, I fucked that up. That's really incorrect. Right, that's super incorrect line. Not really any point in correcting it, so that's a habit I need to fix. Is trying to correct things that don't need to be that should not be corrected. Right. But yeah, waltz in A minor is really, really cool. Really nice piece. Has a lot of technical nuance. I can just tell from listening to the version that my mentor or my piano teacher sent me, as well as I don't know why I did that. I just felt the need to do it. It's kind of honestly pointless. I'm just gonna leave that. That was dumb. See, and I wasn't thinking. There's no point in doing something if you're not thinking. This is clearly just the day's end affecting me. I guess maybe that's how I'm coping about it, right? I think that's pretty accurate. Should be a bit higher, but I think... Nope, that's a bit of overshot. That's way overshot, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that should have been more here. Okay, so that's an overshoot, wonderful. See, again, I just forced myself to feel good from that. You can literally do that. You can just you can just force yourself to derive pleasure from mistakes. It's all just little trainings. And this is to practice my little box diagonal, like because it's important to obviously be, at the end of the day, to be able to see the box and to make any sort of manipulations, right? Right now I'm doing the most logical manipulations, which is ellipse inside the square plane, as well as visualizing the square plane, like so, right? Converging towards, one line, one side of the plane, obviously converging towards it more than the other, like this side's converging more towards it, but whatever, visualizing that plane, which is very difficult right now because I haven't done this type of visualization for a plane. They're not really this skewed. And then another thing which I haven't done is now I'm calculating the center point, right? And then we are creating a diagonal. So it's all about logic, right? Everything when it comes to boxes and cylinders, planes, the beautiful part about them is that they're all very logical. It's everything, every form, every part of this shit can be broken down to a logic. Right, oh shit, I think I put my my lavalier mic on backwards. I was wondering why this shit was looking weird. God damn it. Fucking, there you go. There, now I can actually see the light indicator. I hope I sound the same. I most likely do. This thing's pretty decent. But yeah, it's all logical. That's the reason I don't find the fundamentals boring, is because it's literally logic. Right? How can you find logic boring? It's paved out for you, bro. It's literally paved out for you. Your job is just to fucking obviously do your best to visualize that logic, which is difficult. Don't get me wrong. It's very, very difficult, right? I'm pretty sure this is wrong because it was that, then the center. Yeah, this should have been more to the right. So, and this will be as well, right? But yeah, that's actually, if there's one way I can encourage you to think about fundamentals, is think about it in the fact that it's literally a logic that's paved for you. It's a logic that's been solved. It's a logic. Everything's been really in general to create pretty fucking good art. Everything has been solved, right? Our job. So this is wrong. That was converging way too much. So I should ignore that. Our job is just to do our best to understand that logic, to practice that logic. Anyways, to practice that logic and to visualize it. That's all we have to do. It's very difficult, don't get me wrong. It's insanely fucking difficult, right? That's why it makes sense that a lot of people struggle and aren't aware of the difficulty, right? That's why a lot of beginners, again, in the Broken Draw Discord, a lot of them were like, there's no way this is actually how it is. Like, no, this is exactly how it is. This is literally exactly how difficult it is. Trust me, it is very difficult to visualize planes. There's no secret behind it. It's just very hard. It's extremely difficult, and you have to find your own way to visualize it on the paper in your mind. I'm kind of Before it was in my mind, but now I'm starting to do it more on the paper, which is cool, like, because again, I'm making that effort too, right? It's all a skill at the end of the day, but it is extremely difficult, and that's one, two, three, four. That's one thing I don't ever want to hold up. That's one thing I never want to feel as if I'm. One second, I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Essentially underrepresenting. Yeah, I never want to feel as if I'm underrepresenting how difficult of a skill art is, right? Because it is 100% very difficult. 100p, as they say. Even this, connecting these fucking lines. That's hard as shit, bro. I've never connected lines in this angle this awkwardly before. Look, I fucked that up. This one was too long, you didn't connect it properly. All sorts of fuck ups. But it's amazing because now I can just fucking force feed myself. It feels so good, right? Mistake, feeling, and then boom. Wonderful, I made an amazing mistake that my brain will remember. Just like this one. See, why does that look off? Because I made this too tall. And much like the dating market, you can never be too tall. I don't think that made any sense. I should have said it the other way around. Whatever. Anyways, yeah, we don't really see these, right? We don't ever see either side of these planes, I don't believe. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to see any of these planes. Cool. But yeah, it looks wonky as shit now. I could have just made it straight, called it a day, it would have looked better. But then I would have been making things easier for myself. It's because I made things more difficult that we're here. That's a fuck up that I learned from it. Or I've acknowledged it, which is actually even more important. There you go, something like that. But I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do the same. Bars. Damn, half an hour. Cool. Anyways, yeah, bars, yes. But yeah, trust. I know how difficult it is, right, to visualize and to see grids that don't exist, and then to create lines that essentially, to the best of your ability, follow that grid, right? And that's not even counting the fact that right now, I'm essentially training myself to always perform at that high level, right, cognitively speaking. But I haven't even done any legitimate visualization, right? I'm kind of just experimenting as I go. It's all about focusing on seeing the grid right now. Right, but if I wanted to make it this even more difficult, which honestly I can do that right now, is visualizing the entire shape that I want to draw. Because right now, in general, I just have an idea, right? I technically did visualize this, not the top part, but the bottom part I visualized, right? This here I didn't really visualize it, right? I kind of just went along with it. Here I did visualize it a little bit. This one, not really. I'd only visualize the ellipse, right? Because I'm focusing on, it's already so difficult to focus on the plane that I need to put things in, the very skewed perspective plane. But then, on top of that, visualize a more grounded shape, accompanying the plane is extremely difficult. So trust me, I know that I could also be, as always, be working harder. And I know I say things very definitively, but I want to, I guess, clarify that I say things in a very definitive manner about things that I'm confident in, that I actually have experience in, i.e. getting better at fundamentals, getting better at perspective, getting better at line quality. Those are all things I have 2.5 years of experience in now, right? So I can say that pretty confidently. But do I know everything about good line quality? No, I actually have zero quote-unquote brush economy, penmanship. Like, it's fucking all shit. Right now I'm just focusing on having thin lines, goddammit. I'm just focusing on the first step, which is fine motor control, right? I'm really just at step one, but I sort of, I guess you could say, fleshed out step one, which is why I say things definitively, because I'm talking to those who aren't in their quote unquote fleshed out step one. But there's the beautiful thing, can't even speak. The beautiful thing about art is the fact that, you know, the more you know, the less you know. It's like just with any skill, right? Masters, you'll find them saying something along the lines of, all I know is that I know nothing, right? And it's true. It's 100% true. You know, all they know is that they know nothing, and that comes from years of knowing many things and then realizing the breadth of the skill that they have chosen to pursue. So same thing here, right? I know what I currently know, which is very little. I'm confident in the few things that I do have knowledge in, which is, you know, getting better at lines, getting better at perspective. But really, all I know is that I can't wait to know nothing. To get to that level of, I guess you could say, what's it called? Virtuosity, right? I'm very excited for that, but it's a time thing. You know, it's just time and patience, right? But trust me, this is very difficult. I understand how difficult this is. If there's one thing I do know, and I do want to always emphasize, it's that yes, learning art is incredibly difficult, especially proper draftsmanship. Right? Draftsmanship is sure an impressive skill. I don't even know why that sounded dismissive. It's incredibly impressive skill, but yeah, it's an impressive skill. But when you think about all, well, I guess I was being kind of dismissive, because when you think about all the effort that goes into that draftsmanship, then it makes sense. You know, it genuinely, it just makes sense as to why um you know, that result comes about, because then it becomes much less impressive, so to say, when you know how much work goes into being even a half decent artist. Okay, I fucked that one up too, which is good, but I'm trying to think about how I fucked it up. I think it was the line more than anything, and obviously the unevenness. This one is because this one's okay. I think it's the proportioning. The proportion plus the asymmetry, right? Like this one's higher than this one, which is the same as this one. Doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. But let's make this one a bit bigger, right? Because I have all this space down here. But yeah, I don't even know how true this quote is by supposedly Michelangelo, right? But it's just, the gist of it is, if you knew how hard I worked, you wouldn't really find my mastery impressive. I don't know how true that is, because it's like, it's in the fucking book, the talent code, I believe, or mastery or something like that. It's in a book like that, and it's quoted, I guess, decently often. But then I saw one Reddit comment which said, this isn't even real. So my entire world has gone to shit. And this specifically has gone to shit as well. That was not a good curve. But again, I can just be like, oh my god, I'm so happy it's shit, right? But it is really, really bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah, that's not good at all. But that's how you practice, right? Trying to see those ellipses. I obviously was being very lazy. I can say that right now when trying to visualize the bottom part. For some reason, my brain is just turning off when it comes to visualizing that bottom part. So we need to do it again. We just need to do it again, right? And do something like this. Oh, that's not a perfect horizontal either. And then we can do something like, Something like that. Right? That kind of just looks like a dick. What the fuck? That was not intentional. But it's very appropriate. It's apt, considering my channel and the amount of penis jokes I make, which have been lacking, much like your penis, in recent times. But yeah, my dick jokes have been, I guess, have been missing in terms of their cameoed appearance. There you go. That's pretty decent. Okay, now this is what I imagined, right? So I need to... Okay, that wasn't bad. There were still mistakes there, but at least I was able to make an attempt at visualizing it. Right? But... Okay, cool. I've definitely hit the 20 shapes now, and it's been 41 minutes. Nice. So let's just keep adding to this. Okay, that's a really bad line. This may seem fine to you, but again, I'm going for extreme thinness, I guess you could say, right? Okay, let's... Wow, the first normal box I'm gonna draw. Psych, let's do something else. Yeah, I don't like drawing normal boxes anymore because they are boring. Simple as that. They're just boring. And they don't really do anything in terms of challenging me, right? See this little diagonal, that's challenging. So that's why I did it, because it was very difficult. But yeah, Waltz in A minor, really nice piece. That shit's been stuck in my head right now, because I just practiced it a couple hours ago. But really, really, really good piece. I wonder if anybody in this channel plays piano. I would assume in the future, when I'm a huge YouTuber, I assume there will be many people who will have an overlap between the musical arts and the visual arts, right? The tactile arts, whatever. But I'm curious, you know, how and if any of you, what the fuck am I trying to say? If any of you play an instrument. I guess that's really all I'm trying to say right now. Okay. Now, I need to fix this. There you go. That's pretty decent. And we can have an elliptical cutout. Like so. Let me see if that's actually accurate. No, it's not. It should have been bigger there. Right around there. Cool. That's amazing. Mistakes make the world go round. Wait, before I make that mistake, let's actually analyze, right? Now, if I want to, I can make a box like so, which in turn, oh, there you go. Go somewhat like that. Something like that, right? And then this one. Oh, it's a curved line, therefore it's an incorrect line. This is also too thick, that one. So that's not a good line either. Gucci gang. is also a bit incorrect, but it's okay. This is where foreshortening comes into play, right? Now this line's gonna be extremely difficult because I struggle so much with this angle. Jesus Christ. See how bad that line was? Jesus Christ. Horribly horrible. That's gonna come up right around there. There you go. Something like that. This has a lot of mistakes, I'm pretty sure. That's waltz in A minor. If any of you search it up, you'll realize that I butchered it. But the heart was there. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain now. Why don't you join me? I have to find fucking 10 different ways to just to say I'm gonna employ a spacing effect, a gap effect during my practice, but yeah, I think that's okay for now. Has a lot of mistakes, but still think I'm genuinely learning, right? Making an effort, which is good. But I'm very excited to slowly, obviously, go through the what's it called, this beginner roadmap. There's a lot of stuff in it that I can't wait to just fucking endlessly grind, right? Especially contour manipulation and not just like this, but where you can bend and twist the contour manipulation, right? This is a sort of half-assed application of it because obviously the main goal is for practicing convergence in one-point perspective, right? That is the main thing that's happening here. Okay, if we have a box like that. But yeah, it's gonna be fun. That's another thing we should all keep in mind about art. It is for fun, right? That doesn't mean, I want to be very clear, because then people are gonna take that and be like, but, because this is fun for me, right? Art is about having fun. I really don't like it when people say stupid shit like, don't practice fundamentals because art is supposed to be fun. You're literally retarded if you say that. Right? Literally, like you probably have drool coming out of your mouth. You must be akin to Simple Jack. You have gone full retard. Because that is the dumbest thing you could say. Right? And it's a mindset thing. As always, it is a mindset thing. It has to be. Because the fundamentals are not boring. You are boring. Right? How can something be boring? It's only our understanding and our application of it can be boring, right? Like I can say with full honesty, I quote unquote find math boring, right? But if I actually practiced it and understood the theories and concepts behind math, I'm sure like many who have found the beauty in math, I too would say, no, math is not boring. It's just how it's taught. It's just the mindset. It's just how you think about it. Everything can have boring aspects, but boring aspects, I personally think, are just parts which can be trained out of us, if that makes sense, right? Things can be taught to us in a boring manner, but is this really boring, what you're looking at here? Not really, no, right? Because it's a lot of interesting things happening, cutouts, ellipses, diagonals, blah, 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 right? But it takes time to get here, which is why for maybe the initial hump, right, the initial part where you're just practicing boxes and lines, that I think that is the most important part, where you learn to enjoy the difficulty, the errors, the frustration, right? That's when you, in the beginning, just gaslight yourself into enjoying it, right? But even then, I had a lot of fun doing that back then. Don't get me wrong, it was extremely frustrating, and that was the bad. That was the wrong approach. Being frustrated was the wrong approach because that is not conducive to growth. Frustration is not conducive to growth. So even then, like, I could have enjoyed it more, for sure. I guess what I'm just trying to say is every skill can be boring depending on how you look at it, right? But it doesn't have to be. No. Everything can be boring. But I'm sure if you spoke to Einstein, he wouldn't tell you that fucking theoretical physics or whatever is boring. He'd probably just be like, Eins, zwei, drei, kill them all, or some shit like that. Was he German? I don't even fucking know. The point is, boredom is in the eye of the beholder, or some shit, right? None of this really has to be boring. You're simply choosing for it to be boring. And yes, it is a choice. It's better to believe that it's a choice and you can change your mind rather than believe it's not a choice and that it's fixed. Again, growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Really, really simple stuff, when you zoom out of it. Okay. I want to draw an elliptical thingy. And let's see. Force some foreshortening, right? Make this one longer. Again, I fucked up the evenness, but it's what it is. But yeah, I guess honestly what I'm trying to say with the whole boring, not boring thing is the fact that every skill has seemingly boring things about it, but you have to be honest with yourself and tell yourself they're not boring, they're difficult, right? Again, if it's boring, you wouldn't do it because it's too easy. Boredom equals easy. Boredom equals lack of effort. Boredom equals you don't even need to think or try. That's not what any of this is, right? Boxes are not boring. Boxes are extremely fucking difficult, and you delude yourself into saying that they're boring, because you think you're above that shit. Antonio's right in that regard, from artwod. He has a video, but he talks about this where he's like, nobody is above the basics. It's true. You really aren't above the basics. Okay. Kim Jong-il wasn't above these either. Definitely wasn't above these. He emphasized this all the fucking time. So if someone who can objectively, not subjectively, but objectively be considered a master of perspective, form, line, right? At the very least, and obviously visual library. If someone like that is not above the basics, what the fuck? Who are you? Who are you? Nobody, right? We're nobody. We are just someone who should simply accept that at the very least as gospel. Shut the fuck up and draw, right? Shut the fuck up and draw. Simple as that. Even in the Broken Draw Discord, it's so funny. Somebody will be like, how do I get better at this thing? And good old Dot Senpai, whatever, no matter how many fucking qualms I have with that dickhead, I love it when he's just like, draw it more. And they're like, but, and he's like, draw it more. And they're like, but, and he's like, shut the fuck up, draw it more. And they're like, okay. This is fucking, that I can respect a lot about him, because he does put in the work, Okay, that's incorrect, but I can still... Yeah, he definitely puts in the work. And that's really all it boils down to, is just putting in the work, right? It's simply, it's one, putting in the work, two, learning how to enjoy that work that you're putting into it. Nobody, like if I use piano as an example, do you really call someone who is an incredible pianist, do you really say like, wow, they're so talented? If you do, you're an idiot. But most likely you say, or you think, wow, they must have practiced a lot, which is more so the truth, right? They did practice a lot. Thank you for noticing. Because that's exactly what they did. So why, in any universe, would anyone think the opposite for art? Because for some reason, art is seen as different. Oh, you don't just practice art, my friend. No, you're born with it, molded by it. No, you're not. you practice it like any other skill. And you visualize, and you think very hard, and you try to imagine the perspective, and you think really hard, and you try to blah blah blah, and you think really hard. You see the common denominator? Countless hours thinking really hard. I think I need to say it one more time, right? For the idiots in the back. Countless hours thinking really hard. How about one more time? Just to make it clear. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of hours thinking really hard. Does that help? Just that little tidbit, does that help, or do I need to say it one more fucking time? Yeah. A lifetime of curiosity and discipline and passion, thinking really hard. There. I hope that gets the message across. Everything here is shit, right? But all of this garbage, 3 hours of this garbage, is 1%, one tiny little step closer. If this is the step, right? When I started, I was over here. Now I'm over here, right? And this, by the way, goes infinitely. It just keeps going. That is the beauty, and that is the mindset we need to have. Mic drop! Is that perfect? Oh, fuck, there's still 3 minutes left. Okay, I can't drop the mic just yet. God damn it. That would have been amazing to end off of. But I'm going to rest my brain, and then I'm going to draw one more thing, I guess. God damn it, bro. That was such a good speech. I'm so proud of myself, too. All right, anyways. But yeah, honestly, I'm just a fucking nobody, right? That's the whole point I keep trying to make, because I'm literally nobody. And if I can accomplish this in 2 years and 7 months, right? Imagine what you would be able to do. Because this is nothing special, but it's decently impressive, right? It's decently. Like, decently, you can look at this and be like, oh, okay, wow, this is definitely a decent understanding of spatial reasoning, right? The lines are poor. The understanding of marksmanship is poor. But to be honest, not bad. Pretty decent. And that's with me practicing only fundamentals. That's why I only practice fundamentals, because I'm nobody special, right? I can't and don't have the liberty of noodling around, right? Fucking dicking around doing random drawings, right? That doesn't mean I don't draw for fun, by the way. Even though this is me drawing for fun, I fucking love doing this. I love working, essentially, work out for the brain or whatever. I love doing this shit. That doesn't mean I don't draw for the stereotypical fun either, where I'm just drawing random stuff. I did that a couple days ago. But because I don't have the liberty that you may have, which is, I can just, you can just fucking practice half as hard as me, half as seriously as me, half as intently as me, and probably make better progress than me. I have had honestly, I would say the privilege of forcing to train myself to enjoy the art process, which is probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me. Because I'm shit, objectively, I've literally had to force myself to enjoy how to learn. That is amazing. Like, for me, that's probably the best thing that could have happened. Right? I'm very, very, very thankful for that. So if you're anything like me, right, just an average individual, what is it? Good old One Punch Man. An average birth, an average life, all that deep shit. Really, oh fuck, I fucked that line up. See, this is how I know I'm average. There you go. But yeah, if you're anything like me and just fucking average beyond measure, then consider the words that I say. Right? If you know that you are not like the people who can just kind of dick around and get better, and you know you have to put in work, then hopefully this resonates with you. You know, that maybe or not hopefully, maybe it strikes a chord with you, right? Because not all of us have the liberty of being excellent learners, excellent, I guess, intuitors, right? People who can just pick things up. And the thing is, it's funny, people who even assume they can pick things up a lot better actually don't. Like I've noticed so many people online, at least. You know, maybe I'm perpetually online, which I'm really not, but every now and then you'll see someone, at least on Reddit, and especially when it comes to art, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I was already naturally good at art, blah blah blah." But then I'm like, "All right, let's look at their art." Right? You put yourself up for critique when you say shit like that. So I look at their art. I'm pretty sure that's a mistake. Should not be that curved, or we shouldn't be seeing this part of it. Maybe, I don't know. But and their art is just mid on all fronts. Oh shit! I drew the fucking line by accident. That was an accident. But we're just gonna ignore that. There you go. Yeah, because they have poor fundamentals. You know, nobody can run away from the fundamentals, I guess. But yeah, I guess I'm just rambling now. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But the point I always try to make is if I can do it, you can do it. And this was very fun, right? Took 3 hours, so it goes to show, again, everything takes time. Let's see how many shapes we ended up drawing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Oh, actually, I think that's the exact same amount as last time. What the fuck? I think I did 28 planes last time. Now I'm doing 28 shapes, boxes, supposedly, in 1 point perspective. But yeah, that was really fun. Nothing incredible. Actually, I'm really happy because I made a lot of mistakes here, right? Once you add another layer of depth, it gets more difficult. And I think the next one's literally 2 point perspective. So, you know, that's going to be even more difficult, right? So I'm very excited for that as well. That's going to be tomorrow. But yeah, as always, I hope you guys enjoyed drawing, right? And at the end of the day, what I'm always trying to promote is enjoying the drawing process. I'm just trying to break it down in an autistically right, neuroscientific manner, in which hopefully the knowledge gives you power, and the power that the knowledge gives you action. What the fuck? Whatever. Hopefully the knowledge makes it so it's easier to take actionable steps. But TLDR, gaslight yourself into enjoying the effort, gaslight yourself into being happy when you make errors, and completely trust in the process, right? And expend copious amounts of cognitive effort along every step as much as you can. Right, as much as you can. I think I extended as much cognitive effort as I could. Again, I'm building the skill. Why do I have a lisp? But yeah, again, I'm building the skill of talking while drawing and expending that effort and all that stuff. So for me, it's like a whole nother different ball game. But yeah, as always, I hope you had fun. And as always, what the fuck? God damn it, bro. This outro is getting so convoluted. As always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing and please give me money. Thank you. Jesus.